This is by far one of the most powerful tools when it comes to analyzing shots, and it's this guy right here, split screen. It gives you so many different options, and I promise you, right now, you have never seen all the things that I'm about to show you that this tool is capable of. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that is going to be defaulted to would be version. When you set this up, you're not going to see any difference, and you're going to be like, wait, what is it even doing? Is it even active? Is that a mistake? It's active and it's not a mistake. And let's just go through what this means. So right now it's set to this. If I were to bring it down and set it to versions and original, look what's going to happen. So that is giving me before, and then this is my after, what I created right here. Okay, and I can just play it back and it gives me a smooth playback for my color corrected version to my original version. Now what I can do is I can go back to version. So what that means is I'm going to save this version. Now I'm going to go, I want to add some warmth in the highlights, and just want to level it out. Something like that. And now let's just see, that's just a little stylized version I'm creating, and let's see how that stands with what we had. So that's what we had, our previous version. That's a new version. And now I go, you know what, I like it, it's really cool. I like how it looks like it's early in the morning and the hue is really nice on the grass. Let's create another version. So I'm going to create another version, and now this time we can go, you know what, let's just push it a bit further, right? So let's just keep going, and now let's balance it out, and let's add a little bit more. So something like that. And now I can go, you know, show me everything, even the original. So then here we got our neutral, our warm and warmer, and then our original. And we can evaluate all these shots in real time and get to decide which one is the winner. And thanks to Resolve for utilizing hardware so well that it gives you a hiccup-free, full res playback. So that is one way to use it. Now I'm going to take you through all of these, okay? So let's just go to the top and start from the top. We're not going to touch current groups because it will make more sense when I create groups and show you what it does. So we're going to skip that for now. I'm going to go to highlight modes, which is very useful. So this, looking at that makes no sense. You're just kind of like, what am I looking at? But let me show you really quick. Now if I just want to isolate my highlights and I go, let's just grab my highlights only. Something like that, maybe a little more than highlights, so just stuff like that. Just grab that, and then I want to say, you know, let's just boost my gain there. So I'm gonna show you what it's doing. Any change that's happening is shown right here. This is giving us our black and white, and this is giving us our regular highlights, what we're grabbing. So you can see, and then obviously you can see the change right here. It will show you what's happening. So it's just popping all that information right here, and then I can again do a real-time playback. It's just such an incredible, powerful tool. It is unreal. I use it all the time for everything. Let's move on to our neighboring clips, and this is by far my favorite feature of this. Okay, so just look at that. It's gonna pick 2 shots prior and then 1 forward. So that's what it's gonna do. And then I can get to see that, oh my god, like this is way too warm than this, or if I want to change that I can select this shot and make it match this shot right here. So I can go, you know what, I want to add the same warmth and tone that I got going on. Again, I'm not grading it right now. When I do grade it, I'll get into it and then you'll see the difference. But right now I'm just giving you a gist of what's happening and what it's doing. So I mean, we can say that, okay, this is looking a lot better than what I had. Then I can go right here and fix that shot, and you get the idea. So this is an amazing tool at your fingertips, where you can just like do a playback and just really see, and it can loop it, and you can see what's happening and what needs fixing. If you're going through 800 shots a day or something like that, this could be a lifesaver. And I've worked in this mode because when you're looking at your client monitor, my client monitor is about 55 inches, so I see a really big screen, and then even if it's a split like that, I get a substantial real estate where I can make appropriate corrections. So that was that. Move on to the next section, which is selected album, and I'll show you. If you remember, these are considered albums, okay? And if I go right here to my memories, this is also considered an album. So look what happens when I go right here and select selected album. Look what happens when I hover over. It's applying, it's leaving the first grade that we have right here. That's going to be 1. And then this is going to be 2. And then 3, 4, 5. So we have total of 5 grades. And this A is our 2 on our screen, on our canvas. And if I do a playback, look, we can see a playback of all these grades at once. So that's what I was trying to tell you, that memories are really cool, because if you have 8 different looks saved up here, you can very quickly come in here, hover over, choose this selected album option under your split screen, and then do a playback and see, maybe you'll stumble upon something crazy. So that is there for you to do just that. Let's move on to the next one. Selected clips, another extremely useful feature. So this would be used a lot of the times in something like that, where what you have to do is, in your timeline, you have to select a clip that you want to match this to. So if I'm on this shot, or if I'm on this shot and I want to match it to this, then I will click on that. I will go to my shot that I want to change, and then select the one that I want to reference, and it's going to give me a side by side. And then I can look at it and then make appropriate changes. So that is another amazing feature. So between selected clips and neighbor clips, I use these two a lot when I'm grading reality TV or a documentary. And then let's move on to our selected LUTs. Wow. I just couldn't be happier that they added this feature. This is so good. It's so good. So that's what it is. You go under your LUTs right here, and now I can go, you know what? Because at the end you can see I have this node called Creative LUT. So once I create my look, then at the end I just want to give it some extra juice, and I want to see what else we can pull out of what we already got. So these are all the LUTs that I created, part of my LUT pack series. And I can go in here and I can go, you know what? I want to try this guy. So I'm going to click on that, command click, and I'm going to select that. I'm going to say, give me my teal and orange, half. Give me my high contrast, saturated warm look. And then give me a funny film with yellow tint look. And you know what? While you're at it, give me a VHS gunky nasty look. Now I can select all these, turn that off to get more real estate, and then I can do a playback, and it's going to give me a playback of all my looks in one snapshot. And then I can go, you know what? Now I'm looking at it, I got to be honest, this is kind of cool. This look right now is looking pretty good. I can work off of that and just dial back some of the things, but it gives it a really nice cinematic look. Also, this one is pretty good too. So that is an extremely powerful tool right here, selected LUTs, to do that. Now let's move on. And it's a very exciting one too, because if you just want to look at a bunch of LUTs at once, you can do that here by using split screen. Now I can go under selected still grades, and these are your gallery stills. So everything that's living right here. So basically it's picking this shot right now from the gallery, and then I can do a playback, and it's giving me the grade that we had saved. And remember, it was kind of warm and we have to neutralize it. So it's giving me that grade right there. And now I can go in and I can do selected still image. So that is basically this image frozen. So it's not moving at all. And now I can look at that and be like, oh, okay, so maybe bring down the warmth a little bit and try to match it there. But if you remember, we created different versions, so I can just go through my versions and remember this one was our base version, so I can park it on that and then do a playback and be like, okay, this is matching a little bit better, so maybe we can use this as a starting point. So that's there for you for that reason. And we are going to go back to versions, and those were all the versions we created, and then versions in original. So you can see the power of split screen. Think of split screen versus gallery stills as that gallery stills, if you're working on a product shoot, something, you know, where you have a Pepsi can and you want to match those colors, or if you're working on a car commercial where the colors really matter and it has to be the same for whatever car you're grading, then you're going to bring that JPEG in that's provided to you by your client to make sure that you keep the integrity of their product. Sometimes if you're working on something, a project, and a lot of the times I'm bringing in references from movies and then I want to try to create something like that, gallery stills are going to be great. But when you're inside your project and you're shot matching and you're trying out different things, or if you're trying out LUTs, you saw the power of split screen, and Resolve is going nuts. It's becoming so powerful, and the way it uses hardware is that you can really push the limits and do so much in real time, and that's what separates DaVinci Resolve as a color tool compared to any other product in the world.